Hello, I'm Panos Kotzathanasis, and this is ASEAN Movie Pulse Interviews. Today I'm here with Kentaro and Yuya Yagira, whose film Under the Turquoise Sky is currently screening in Japan Cuts. How are you guys?
We're doing well.
Okay, great.
Doing well.
Okay, so first question after watching this film is, how was the experience of shooting in a place like Mongolia?
これ日本語でいいんですよね。すごくやっぱ景色もすごいし、やっぱりだけど一番、やっぱそういう自然の美しさっていうものの衝撃と、あと、モンゴルの俳優さんがやっぱりこう、尊敬できる面がとても多いというのが、やっぱり同業の俳優としてとてもいいインスピレーションでした。
Of course, the Mongolian vista was beautiful and the nature was, had impact on me. But more than anything, Mongolian actors, there's so much that I can respect about them, and that left a lot of impression on me.
Okay, Kentaro-san, how was the experience?
My experience, well, I know Mongolia. I've been there many times since about 10 years ago. So my shooting experience was incredible. The shoot itself was like a road movie. Every day was, you don't know what would happen. We were in the middle of the wilderness of Mongolia. We were staying in yurts, Mongolian yurts. There's no hotel or anything. And we were 12 hours away by truck from Ulaanbaatar, which is the city. So we had to prepare very carefully. We didn't have enough hard drives, for example. You just can't go and get a hard drive nearby. So it was, all those things had to be considered. It was a great adventure.
And considering how difficult the logistics were, which you now described, can you tell me a bit, how did you come up with this production? How did it came to be?
That's an often asked question. Yeah. Well, I've been going to Mongolia for a while, and I met Amra Baljinam, who is the other main actor of the film, but also the biggest actor of Mongolia. And currently he's also a cultural ambassador for Mongolia. So he's a very well-known guy, and he wanted to work with Japan, and we started putting ideas together, and we came up with this story that I spent about a month writing into a auteur kind of format. So I don't think they have auteur films in Mongolia yet. They're coming though. I mean, it's really quickly changing. They've got a film commission there. It's very dynamic now. So when we started this project, it was really brand new. They didn't have a film commission. We just went out there. Me and Amra first, and it was, we were on horses and going over mountains and taking pictures of all these possible places to shoot, and yeah, it was amazing.
And the next question is for Yuya-san. Can he tell us what drew him in the character?
たけしという役に惹かれたところは
やっぱりロードムービーですよね、今回のテーマが。それで僕自身も俳優として日本でどういうなんていうんですかね、あまり自分なんて言えばいいんですかね、ちょっと考えていた時期であったりして、それがこのキャラクターとすごい重なる感じというか、なんだろうな、この作品の旅を通していろいろクリアになったことがあったし、やっぱ作品参加してよかったなと思います。
So, this is a road movie, and as an actor in Japan, I sort of started to question my sort of identity as an actor. How do I establish as an actor from here on in my career? And through this journey, I really feel like a lot of things have cleared up for me. So I'm really happy that I was able to join this project.
But do you like Takeshi as a person? Would you be friends with him in reality before or after he changes?
友達になりたいと思うのか、映画の最初から終わりにかけてどっちに変わっていったと思う？
やっぱりだけど、最初は物質的な、なんていうんですか、例えばいい洋服とか、いい車とか、女の子と一緒にお酒を飲む。それのやっぱり なんだろうな、魅力もあるとは思うんですけど、ただそれが全てではなくて、やっぱりこう精神的な、例えば文化的なことをなんかこう、まあ勉強したり、あとやっぱりその人と会ってハートを鍛えていくっていうことにより、より魅力的な人になっていくっていう、なんかそういうやっぱストーリー、キャラクター好きでした。
So, Takeshi starts out as really a materialistic person. He's into nice clothes, nice cars, all about booze and girls. And there are appeals in that for sure. But, there are more that can be offered in cultural, spiritual things. And through, connecting human inner connection, he really grows up as a person. And I feel that he's appealing as a person in that growth.
The next question is for both, I guess. I feel that one of the main comments of the film is that in order for a person to change, he has to experience new things. Is that what they believe about humans, let's say, how they change?
新しいことを何か経験しないと変われないっていうメッセージを入れてるんですけど、それについて。
そうですね。まさに僕は日本で主に俳優を活動していますが、今回の作品での一番のなんかいい出来事は、健太郎さんとの出会いで、それはたけしとアムラの出会いのような、やっぱりこうインスピレーションっていうんですか、を得られたし、自分の中で、こういう日本人の、やっぱこう、に会いたかったな。今まで会ったことないですよね。フランス語も英語もスペイン語、日本語、いろんな言語が話せて、それでちゃんと5カ国ぐらいの国の人たちをリードしてる。基本的にこう英語喋れない日本人が今まで多かったので、僕の周りには。これだけかっこよくリーダーシップを持ってくれてる人と出会えたのは衝撃でした。
So, I've established myself as an actor in Japan, but the greatest takeaway from this project really is my encounter with director Kentaro, very much like, how Takeshi meets Amura and he grows through that experience, through that encounter. I've never met anyone like him. He's multicultural, he's able to communicate with, we had like maybe 5 different, nationalities on the set, but he was the leader in multiple languages, and it's just that it really inspired me to see someone like him and have met someone like him. So that was the greatest takeaway.
That sounds really nice.
Okay. And same question, Kentaro-san. Do you feel that's how people change?
Yes, I think you need to go through something extreme to change your life. I think that in general, yeah. How? Or it doesn't have to be like that, no. But it's usually something that's extreme. And that's a life-changing, how would you call it? To put into question, if you're going to put into question the way you live, it's got to be something extreme, I think.
Okay.
What do you, Panos?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to change, actually, from experience. If you do the same things all the time, you never change. That is what I think.
Yeah, I know personally several people that have only changed through such extreme measures.
Okay. And tell me a bit, how was your cooperation with Akaji Maro?
It was amazing. I know Maro-san from like, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so. I know him uniquely as the Buto master he is. I've heard he was in films and stuff. I didn't see anything he was in because I'm usually overseas. But when he comes to France, for example, he does 1 month of shows. He does performances during 1 month. So in France, he's considered a very high level cultural character. And going back to how was my experience with him, was amazing. I mean, I knew him before. He was the first choice for the role of Saburo because of his amazing presence, because of his voice, because his commanding a very unique voice and face. And I really wanted to start the film with the textures of the mountains of Mongolia on somebody's face.
And I don't. Can also Yuya Yagira tell us how was it cooperating with Takajimaro? I don't remember they have many scenes together, but I just want to ask.
そう今まで出た舞台で、そのマロさんの、ダンス、バックダンサーやる方と仕事したことあるぐらいで、だけどやっぱりその日本でもこう、尊敬される方ですし、ご一緒できて嬉しかったです。はい。
So I've worked with, dancers who worked with Marokaji, but I've never actually worked with them before this project. But I'm so happy and honored that I got the chance to work with them.
And can you give us some details about the cinematography of the film, what you wanted to do in the visual aspect? Because I see very different things throughout the film. So can you tell?
Different things, references, you mean?
Yeah, for example, you have the scenes in Japan that you have this blank background, which is completely different than what we see in Mongolian scenes. So I just wanted to tell me a bit about this.
The visual concept of the film,
Yes.
But the idea was that Japan was very technologically advanced, and the idea that it's got everything. However, it would be cold and rather monochrome, and compared to the very saturated primary colors of Mongolia. So that's kind of the color concept of the film. I shot it, my director of photography is Ivan Kovac, who's a Croatian, Australian, Argentinian guy. And he's very sensitive about shooting. He shoots like an animal, and he's got this kind of organic relationship with the image, which really worked in all the documentary shots we did. And he's got really great taste in visuals when it comes to framing and following the characters. Recently, last year, he was even nominated for an Emmy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have worked with him. He's so we wanted, before, he didn't know Mongolia at all. I had only shown him my location scouting photos, and we had decided to shoot with an 8K camera, and we wanted to shoot it very grandiose, like Lawrence Arabia. That was the original kind of, we said we're going to go into the countryside, look at all these beautiful shots, and we want to make every shot like a painting. And that was the starting point of the visual of the film. Later on, I was able to work with Olivier Garcia, who's one of the chief color graders of Jean-Jacques Annaud. And that provided the last touches of this really refined color timing he did.
Okay. And next question, I guess, for both of you again. Can you tell me which was the hardest scene to shoot in the film?
Good.
なんか狼が出てくるシーンがあるんですけど、狼をこの、なんかこう、なんていうんですか、リードが細くて、この狼は本当に僕に襲いかかってこないのかっていう。だけど、健太さん、大丈夫。リードは細いけど、大丈夫。目がちょっと不自由な狼だからっていうのが、ちょっとドキドキしました。
So there's a scene with me and a wolf, if you remember, and when we were shooting, the wolf had the lead, a rope, but it was so thin that I was a little nervous, but Kentaro assured me that it's okay. This wolf doesn't have a, very good eyesight, so it'll be fine. And we did that.
Okay.
The idea was to have a real wolf, and and on the screen, it looks almost like a dog, right? But when you see it in real life, it's twice as long. So it's quite impressive. So the reactions, I was able to get really authentic reactions from Takeshi in that shot. And we had shot that scene at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. How many takes did it take for this?
For that one scene,
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I just remember shooting, and we had this.
Yeah, he's
smoke.
shooting. He's shooting. He's なんていうんですか、smoking cigar and なんていうんですか、サングラスかけて。
I
if
not
you wear
sunglasses.
shades.
I don't wear sunglasses. I
Oh,
wear glasses.
glasses.
But, yeah.
Action! It does. Great
I
opportunity.
I was shooting on a crane because I was the crane operator, basically because my director of photo doesn't like heights too much. So all the shots of the crane and all that was me on the camera. But we had very old crane. It was like 70 years old, no security whatsoever. It was like one of those cranes that you see on pictures with Fellini, where he's wearing a suit, but there's nothing. It was like a 70-year-old crane we had, but we had it every day. So I was very lucky. So I was shooting this wolf scene, and the Ivan, the director of photography, had a great idea to put real red light into the scene. It wasn't added. He wanted to create that scary scene live for the wolf and for Yuya. And we took the trucks and we put filters on the lights, the beams, and we had the whole area lit in red. And I was on this crane with this smoke all around, shooting from the top. And basically, yeah, I don't know how many takes we took. We just kept on shooting till it got light.
Okay. Well, it seems like there is another movie in how you shot this movie. There is another script, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And can you tell me, since you mentioned this scene with the wolf, like the supernatural becomes kind of part of the narrative at some point. Would you say that you did that because it's part of Mongolian culture or for some other reason?
I don't necessarily think it's part of Mongolian culture, but it's definitely part of how maybe a foreign person might see Mongolia. Yes, there's definitely shamanic culture mixed with Buddhist culture, but that could be that is really a different world, and Takeshi is, he's an Asian, but he goes to an Asian country that he's completely not familiar with, and it's almost like he enters he enters a different world, and through this very almost fantastic fantasy world, he changes. He evolves to be somebody who understands finally his destiny.
Okay. And can you tell me a bit for both of this question, how do you feel about the situation of the Japanese movie industry at the moment?
I think you should talk about that.
Okay.
だけどやっぱりこう、まあ今回の作品みたいによりこう、グローバルっていうんですか、なんかそういう一つの国の視点だけではなくて、いろいろな、国籍の方だったり、いろいろな国の方に見てもらえる作品作りっていうことも意識していくクリエイターが増えてくると、やっぱりよりこう面白くなって盛り上がるのかな。そしてまた世界からもよりこう注目してもらえるんじゃないかなって思います。才能があるクリエイターたくさんいると思うので、なんかよりこう世界にチャレンジしていけるフィールドができてきてると思うから、チャレンジでし続けた方がいいのかなと思います。
So just like this film, sort of a global film where there are multiple perspectives, including, it's made with, multiple, cultural people for multiple cultural audience. There are so many talented creators out there. And if we can, continue to make something, with a little more global, perspective like this film, I think the field is ready. And there are, many talented creators out there. So I hope that we continue to do what we did.
だから、ケンタロウさんが大活躍できる時代ですよ。だから、大きな作品で呼んでください。
So time is ready for Director Kentaro, so I hope that he'll calls me back with a bigger film, bigger project.
Yuya is definitely going to go someplace, that's for sure. He's already a superstar. I wanted to say something about this identity of movie star. You know, in today's world, there's so many people who become famous from almost nothing. You know, you've got YouTubers, you got everything today, you know, where the whole concept of the mystique and the magic that a movie star can carry is kind of gone. So I'm really happy to have worked with someone like Yuya, because Yuya Yagira, for me, he does represent a movie star. And this is something that's quite important. We used to have many movie stars. We don't have them so much anymore. So yeah, going to the international field, I think he's definitely going to be one of the Japanese movie stars that they're gonna make it out there.
And okay, since you mentioned his career a bit, can Yuya-san tell us maybe which are some of his favorite roles that he had played through the years?
今まで演じてこられた中で、まあ、そのキャリアの話ということで、一番好きな役といいますか、残っている役ってありますか？
ああ。まあ、だけど、まあ、この作品のたけしはとっても好きですね。まあ、ロードムービーがもともと好きっていうのはあるんですけど、まあ、あと、この間、タップダンスを習って、ネットフリックスの浅草キッドっていう作品があったんですけど、まあ、それは日本の映画界でも有名な、まあ、北野武さんっていう人の若い、なんていうんだろう、若い時のこう、なんていうんだろうな、葛藤だったり、まあ、売れる前の時代を描いてるんですけど、それはお気に入りです。見てください。
So I like road movies to begin with. So this role of Takeshi, it stays with me very much. But also in a film called Asakusa Kid, I learned how to tap, and this is a story about Takeshi Kitano, who's a big name director, a Japanese director. And this is a story about when he was young, before he becomes big. The conflicts that he's experienced. So I hope you check it out.
My favorite role is to Takeshi.
Ah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Takeshi, his role, and Takeshi Kitano role. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't know, Panos, have you seen his tap dancing?
Yes. He stopped us. No, in the film, you mean?
Yeah, have you seen Asakusa Kid?
Yes, I have seen a subject, yeah.
His tap dancing is really good.
Yeah. Okay. I have to say I really liked Distraction Babies. I really liked. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And okay, so last question, I guess, can you tell me a bit about your future projects? What are you working on next?
I can't say anything about my future projects yet.
Okay.
I'd rather talk about it when it's finished or when it's almost finished.
Okay. And Yuya-san?
まだそういう情報言えないですけど、これから撮影始まるのの準備しています。
So yes, I can't reveal the details of this project that I'm involved in yet, but I am getting ready to shoot a certain title right now.
Okay. And maybe one last question. How was the reception of the film in Japan? It opened in Japan, right? Under the Turquoise Sky. How was the reception of the Japanese audience?
In general, it had really good, well, apart from the obvious success it had with Yuya Yagira fans, that's automatic, but it had good critical reviews from a lot of the cultural people. I think that it was seen as a very unique film there. We had a very long run. We showed it in many theaters. And I think it's a new type of film. So always introducing a new type of film into a market like Japan is not easy, but I think it was interesting for many people.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck on your next screening and hope to see you in a festival somewhere soon.
I think we will.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.